Good morning, you guys. How's everybody doing? I'm gonna let you all start getting the notifications. Hey, Diane. Good morning. Hey, Black Barbie and Shan. Yeah, what's going on this morning? It's 46 degrees. I ain't gonna even lie. I'll be glad when the winter is over. Hey, Fox. Hey, little Miss Muffin. I be so happy when the winter is over. I like the spring. I perk up in the spring and everything. The weather is better. This cold weather, and the weather is so bipolar. Like if it's gonna be cold, I would just prefer for it to be cold, just and not be up and down. Because when it's up and down, that means like around the end of January, the beginning of February. Um, it we have those ice storms. Hey, Carolyn, we start having those ice storms. So just drop the grandkids off at daycare and on my way to work. I'm getting ready to get ready and put me two boiled eggs on and make me some coffee and jump in the shower in about 30 minutes. I was supposed to get back on last night, but I had some other things going on. Anyways, y'all, what else is going on? But I'm sure because I think like up north and around those areas, it's been snowing and all of that. My cousin called me the other day. She was like, this year, we're having our family reunion in Kansas City." So she was like, so our relatives there is hosting it. She called me, she's like, um, "At the banquet, would you speak?" I was like, okay, cool. She's like, "Yeah, like a 30-minute speech." I'm like, 30 minutes? That's too long. Don't nobody really speak for no 30 minutes. That's a long time to speak. It's 24 degrees in Boston. Ooh, Lord Jesus. I know that wind is cutting. That wind is cutting. Ugh. I remember growing up before they started messing with the weather. Remember, we actually used to really have um like four seasons. When we would be walking to school, we would turn and start walking backwards. So because that wind was hitting our face, remember? I mean, because it would be cutting, that wind would. Now I don't know what they do. I think they mess with the weather or something to have it like it is now. It's real bipolar. Whatever they're doing, I think they're trying to find a way to get to do something with the sun. Okay, I really do. I think because the sun, I mean, you know what? You think about all of the things that they say that the sun does to help us, right? And Even like when in places like Alaska, like I could never live in Alaska because they have, look, be quiet. They have 6 months of darkness and 6 months of light. Like the sewer to the side rate is astronomical. But they said like in the when they have that 6 months of light, they said you totally forget. Like you could be out in your yard in the garden at 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning because the sun is shining. Because I mean, because of the light, you forget what time it is. I don't think I could live like that. I especially couldn't go through that 6 months of darkness. Dark for 6 months, no light. I don't even know if that's healthy. I'm so scared to eat the vitamin D. I guess they just take the supplement. So even though, cause like I've fallen so in love with Chicago. Well, yeah, like the outskirts. I could never live there. Just like I fell in love with New York because it gets so cold. I could never live anywhere where it's cold all of the time. So if I was to ever leave my area, I'm going further down south. I would go to Florida, but the only thing about Florida is like it looks muddy all the time. You know what I mean? Like sweaty and muggy. I don't like that. And there are some places in Florida where it gets cold, like Jacksonville. It gets cold in Jacksonville. I believe they said it snows in Jacksonville. Let me see. Because that's the northern part of Florida. Yeah, it's 56 degrees right now in Jacksonville, but it's going up to 76. It's 73 in Fort Lauderdale, which is like around Miami. And don't you know that's cold to them? Because I got a friend that lived down there and she be talking about when it's like in the 70s. So our girl, it was freezing. Like how many degrees was it? Like 73? I had to turn the heater on. I'm like, girl, are you crazy? That's perfect. Hmm. He said, "Oh boy, I click on the live and Tamara's dropping diss tracks on the stage at 6." It's not a diss track. It's just because it's beautiful in those places. I just don't like the cold. I'm one of those ones. I like the spring and the summer. I don't even like the fall because I know the winter is coming right behind it. So I'll be glad when the spring come around, child. Hmm. Hey, Ashley. The same to you all. Y'all, Merry Christmas to everybody. So, does it feel like Christmas to you all? I guess it has been feeling, I guess it has been. This has been like one of the few times in a long time that it has actually really felt like Christmas to me. To me, that is. She said, no, it doesn't. Yeah. Well, you know what? Some people, these are real sensitive times of the year because there are people that lose their loved ones and it's never really the same. I think like for me around Thanksgiving, it, I start to feel a certain way because my grandmother really loved the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas, you know. So around Thanksgiving, it'll hit me, and then I perk back up. And I think, since my grandbaby now is old enough to, she's getting old enough to be excited about the holidays, that really excites me. I think I do for her, especially this year, I do for her what my grandmother and my mom used to do for me, like overbuy. I bought her so much stuff because I love to see her open gifts. And my grandmama used to do that with me. My grandma used to love to see me open gifts. So, but I got tired of wrapping gifts. I got she got a lot of boxes, but then I got this big box and then just put the rest of the stuff in child. And I'm just gonna wrap the big box. I need some more tape. I'm gonna give me some of that today. We ended up getting my mother a exercise bike, and I really want to get one for me. And it's the exercise bike like when I was going to physical therapy. It has the handles on it where as you work your arms like you rowing, um I forget what it's called, but it's not like the regular bikes where you move back and forth. It's like you go around and around. So I like that. My mother has issues like with her leg. So that's gonna be really good for her. And we was able to get it when it went on sale because I think it was like 600 something. We was able to get it when they was running those Christmas sales. We was able to get it for like 3.99. So that's gonna be really good for her. We're gonna put it next to her bed so then when she gets up, she'll be able to get on her bike, and that's gonna help to strengthen her legs and stuff. Um, help her with her weight and all of that, with trying to get herself back, together in shape. But especially with her leg, because of how her leg is, basically don't she can't walk on it really a whole lot. So I think that's gonna help to slowly like strengthen her leg and stuff back up. I started doing the same thing when my kids were young. Then when I got custody of my grandkids, I just put everything out the night before on the couch in the floor. Then they clean up. Yeah. I'm taking all of these gifts over to my mom's and put it up under her tree because we be at my mother's house. And then let my little grandbaby go up under the tree and just start ripping her gifts open. So I think with my grandbaby that helped to revive a lot of that because I think around that time, like my mother, especially when my grandmother passed for many years, my mom, it's like it took her light away too. Hey, I am She Johnson. The same to you. It's like it took her light away too. But since My grandbaby been here because my mama is so in love with my grandbaby. Also, but she in love with them girls, period. Because I always tell her, "You sure are different with my girls than you was with me." Because she feel like those girls hung the moon. Hmm. Yeah, it is. That's all grandparents. I be wondering sometimes. I'm like, I wonder what my youngest daughter's child is gonna be when she get married. Because I want to get married, child. My auntie sent me a picture, child. My auntie sent me a picture. Hold on. I'm gonna get ready to show y'all. I'm gonna see. Oh, I can. I'm gonna show y'all this. I was tickled pink. I was sitting at home last night. My auntie says, I think this right here is gonna make you feel better to see this. I'm getting ready to show y'all this. I was so tickled pink. I just posted it on Facebook. Hold on, y'all. Uh, oh my God. This is something. I told my mama I always been a chocolate drop, just like my dad. And it's something because I remember when I had my youngest baby, her eyes stayed closed for a long time. Like I was like my auntie said I was like 3 weeks old, and I was looking right dead in my dad's face. Look like they already had me spoiled, child. I'm sure they did. Oh wow. That was something to see that picture. Good morning, J Real. I said, come on in, fella. Oh my God. Happy holidays, Edward. Hey, Miss Brenda. So you guys, I want to tell y'all something that I was thinking of doing today. I was thinking of, should I say it? Maybe I shouldn't say it until I'm for sure today. It's a rose head. um, yeah. Yeah, those braids did a number on my edges. So when I take my extensions out, I'm going to somebody to get my hair treated. I think I'm gonna wear my hair for a little while, get it clipped real good, because these folks don't be into hair care, especially when they do weave. They don't. So I thought about going to the hair school because I know they use good products. I be hating to go to any and everybody. That's what I'm gonna start doing, Miss Brenda, getting a braided wig because yeah, they just don't do right. Since we had our Christmas play at church yesterday, I love the kids. Yeah, me too. I love the kids too. Yes, they do. They look really real. I think wigs now is healthier, you know. Because I was thinking about just getting me some wigs made so I could just put on my head and going to somebody that specializes in hair care. Hello, Miss Kawada. Ugh. This is time I wish we were in the same area. I install wigs. I do my really. Oh my god. So you know how to make wigs? I might have to send you my hair, and you make me the wig and send it back. Hello, Ebony. It's funny because when I see the name Ebony, I used to think about like when I was younger. Y'all know how we used to sit up when we was younger. Did you really send me a picture of it? She Johnson, send me a picture of your braided wig on Facebook. Yeah, remember when we used to sit and think about like we wanted when we have our kids and stuff. I came up with so many so many names. I still think about because I always wanted to have twins or triplets. I wanted to have twins, twin boys, or triplets. I don't know why because I changed it to like triplets. I was like I want three boys at one time. I was like I want two boys. I was like but if I have two girls, two twin girls, yeah, I had so many names, and I was like, I like Ebony and Essence for girls. If I wanted to be like, I guess Afrocentric, I always thought about Ebony and Essence. Oh, hear the laugh. I did. I wanted three boys. I always wanted for like one of my boys' names to be Tracy. I like the name Tracy for a boy. Tracy. What was the other name that I like? Um, it was another name that I like. Oh, I always like Phelan for a boy. Tracy Phelan and Tori for boys. Tracy and Tori. Toriano. I really like Toriano. Um, but then I also like the name Justin and because I be seeing when I see people coming here, I go, dog, I like your name. What was it? Justin. Um Demetrius. I always like Demetrius for a boy too. I always love that name. Hmm. T, I'm trying to send you a photo, but your phone isn't allowing it at all. I've changed the format, but it's the really. I wonder what's going on with my phone. It says you're not able to receive videos or pictures for some reason. Really, I just received a picture this morning. I don't know if it's too big. She said your hers came in as singles. If I had gotten married, I would have went and got like a fertility. I would have taken a fertility drug because when you do that, that makes you have multiple births at one time. So I mean, I know that's what they do to get pregnant with like twins and triplets and all of that. So that's if I had ever gotten married, but it's probably a good thing. My nerves and stuff be Lord. Okay, I don't want to get started because my nerve would not have been bad for the kids. Sort of, um, I would have had to have a husband, and I am still going to have a husband that's real laid back and chill. Okay, because I be seeing some of these men, they be arguing with their wives and they have their hands on their hip and they be arguing and screaming harder than the women. They be loud and head rocking from side to side. Oh, oh, Lord, please, God, please, Lord, don't let me say it. Please don't let me say it, Lord. Please. I don't want to say it. I just want to be good. Steven says, okay. Um, he says, Ed, I used to mentor in Bessemer. You know how bad hit a what you say, real quick. Brenda says, I always wanted to a boy named Kadarius until I saw the news with that name doing so much. I know it. I got a cousin. I got a little cousin named. I got one named Kadarius with the C and Cordarius. Yes, indeed. Mm, child. You sure right about that because they bad. They both bad, and done made the news too. Kawana says I've been trying to get my membership together, but haven't gotten any help. My son will be flying in, so let's see. Okay, Miss Kawana. It's good to mentor the kids. I think it's really good. I love it when I see men mentoring kids, especially the boys. Okay, um, because she says speaking with childbirth, local doctors are telling me I had to have a hysterectomy, and there's nothing they can do. Is there anything I should do or go about it legally? Are you serious? Is it because of fibroids? I'm gonna tell y'all what happened. You have to be careful with that because my daughter, who is only 20, is how wait a minute, is she might let's see, she's 23 or 24. I'm trying to think how old my baby is. Is she 24? I refuse to believe my baby is 24. Hold on, y'all. I don't mean no harm. Wait a minute. Okay, let's see. What's this 2005? Oh my gosh, she is 24. So I was ready to call her, but she's 24. Oh my gosh, she get ready to turn 25. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe my child, my baby girl is that old. She's still such a baby. So, anyways, y'all know I clowns. I know when I feel like something ain't right. So my baby called me and she called me crying and she was like, Mama, I can't move. Anyway, so I'm already, y'all know how I am. I don't be trying to do it, but I am just dramatic, and I be trying not to, but I can't help it. And so, anyways, we went out of all damn places. I took her to the first place I could get her to, and that was Methodist South. And so we was sitting there. It was bad enough we was sitting in them. It wasn't nobody in the emergency room. Nobody. They had my child sitting there. Okay, I'm looking around, nobody in there, just us. Okay, 30 minutes went by. Okay, 45 minutes went by, hour went by. I couldn't hold it no more. I asked the lady, ma'am, why haven't y'all called my child back there? Ain't nobody up in here. We gotta get some beds together. I said, ma'am, it ain't nobody up in here. And it ain't been nobody in here for an hour. So, anyways, finally, they went on to call her back. Okay, the lady rolled her eyes at me. They went on to call her back. So, anyways, we was we was in the back We was in the back for another 2 hours. So her daddy came up there. I had to leave. Her daddy came up there and sat with her. So she called me. She said, Mom, They said that they're gonna have to take me to surgery immediately. That just dropped my heart. It did. It really, my heart sank because she's still a baby. And so I said, I want to talk to the doctor. She said, Mom, she just like a dad. She said, Mom, whatever you do, don't start with the doctors, Mom, they gotta work on me. Don't, please don't. I said, I'm not going to. Just when they come, I want to talk. That's all. So anyways, they were saying, and he was old, he was oh, don't get me started, okay? So he didn't like that. When they come from a lot of these other countries, they don't want no women saying nothing to them. And I wasn't trying to act, I was not trying to tell him his job. I was just really naturally upset about my child get ready to go to surgery. So then he was like, well, she has a cyst on her ovary the size of a watermelon. I said, you got to be kidding me. He said, no, ma'am, it's the size of a watermelon. And so he said, we got to immediately take her to surgery. Now, this was like back in what, September? And so he says, we don't know if it's cancerous. So you already know I got on the phone and started calling everybody. We really went into the spirit. I was so upset. It was ridiculous, right? I was fasting for so then the next day, okay, so he was like, well, we're still waiting on the biopsy and all of that, but it's so big. We don't have to give her a hysterectomy. I said, what did you say? Yeah, we're gonna have to give her a hysterectomy. I said, for a cyst. I said, you don't know if it's cancerous, and my child who has never had any children, you sitting up talking about you gonna have to give my 24-year-old baby a hysterectomy? Because see, I already know what these doctors will do to make more money. I said, sir, let me tell you something. When I was my daughter's age, I had the same thing. I had cysts on my ovaries. Okay. They were sitting up talking about partial. Well, no, they weren't. They weren't even. I said they weren't talking about no hysterectomies then. They was giving you birth control pills and stuff to help your hormones, because it's almost like it's a hormonal thing. I said, and so then I ain't trying to get too deep, but you women know, okay? She Johnson, you work in the medical field. So, anyways, um, he said, ma'am, I've been doing this for 30 years. I said, I don't care how long you've been doing it. I don't want a 24-year-old girl who has never had children. You sitting up talking about a hysterectomy. When you talking about a cyst, why don't you drain it? I said, I know that they can be drained. If I drain it, it take chance of coming back. I said, I don't give a damn. I told my baby, I said, you better not sign no papers talk about no hysterectomy. You better not. So then, I mean, I was so mad, y'all. I be trying. I like to be nice, but sometimes people just won't let you. So, anyways, I said the cyst is on one ovary. Why are you talking about a hysterectomy? So then they came back again and said, well, we think about well, she don't have to have a full hysterectomy. She could we're gonna just take one of her ovaries. I said, why you got to take the ovary? Why you got to take one of her ovaries? So my sister had 6 kids with one ovary. I said, I don't give a damn. Why you got to take one of her ovaries when all you got to do, you could drain it. You don't need. So anyways, come to find, okay, so right before he took in surgery, I mean, he was mad at me too, because I was like, well, what's your name? And all of that. I wanted his full name, his history, and all that. Talk about, he asked me, do you want my birthday too? I said, yeah, that would be good. He was being smart with me. But anyways, it ended up being non-cancerous. They took her into surgery. I was at work sitting at my desk just praying in the spiritual realm. I'm telling you, because I couldn't sit out there because it would have drove me crazy. So I went to work. I was at work. Me and my mother everybody was praying. So when she came out of surgery, and she went into recovery and stuff. She said, "Mom," she said, "Mama, they didn't have to take because he had scared her. You know, it was her decision. So he had really scared her. And so she was like, Mama, I had went ahead and told him to just go ahead if they needed to and take one of my ovaries behind my back. She did it behind my back. But anyways, when she went to recover, her doctor went there. She said her doctor said, "Tell your mama she'll be happy. I drained it. I didn't have to take your over. I knew damn well he didn't have to take it. That's the reason why I was on top of his neck." And I said all that to say this: that they will do whatever they can. They'll put you through all these different changes when they could do the bare minimum. I went through the same thing. Now my cysts were not as big as hers, so I know back then doctors were not trying to overcharge your insurance by putting you through stuff that you don't have to go through. And he thought I was going to let him put my baby through that without a fight. He drained it, and that's all he had to do, anyways, in surgery. Okay. My sister has thyroid issues. Her doctors told her she has Graves' disease. That's the type of thyroid that's really bad. And so they told my sister she would never, because of, she would never, you're welcome. They told my sister she would never get pregnant. Okay. And my sister, she have spells where she gets sick and stuff because of that. They didn't do her right, because when we found out she had thyroid issue, we didn't know anything about it. So she allowed them to destroy her, to give her chemo for her thyroid gland. That was, they try to do the most to keep you on meds. Okay. And anyways, she was sick one day. She started getting sick, and she had started getting sick, and she told my mama, she was like, my thyroid is acting up. I've been throwing up. The medicine is not working anymore. So once again, she go out there to Methodist South. But this was way before this happened with my daughter, because my nephew is getting ready to turn, I believe, 8. And so my sister went to Methodist South, and she was out there just a crying. My mom, I told her, my mama, like I told my mama, that's your favorite child. So she called my mom, and I was laying on the couch, and my mom, I heard my mom say, "For real?" And she was just a crying. She said, "The doctor said I'm pregnant." We were so excited because we had not had a baby in so long. And she was just crying because her doctor had told her, so believe it or not, her doctor had told her, because of her illness, what are you what are you going to do? Because it wouldn't be wise for you to carry a baby. Okay. But she carried him, and he's healthy. What she started doing was eating better. She would eat an apple every morning. Like, she just started eating healthy because she wanted to make sure that baby was healthy and she was healthy. And don't you know, when she was pregnant, she said the pregnancy did something to her where it like regulated her hormones. She said she felt better being pregnant, and that's because she was eating, because it's all in this food. She was like, she felt so much better. She didn't have to take her medicine as much. It was like the pregnancy regulated her hormones. Y'all, God is real. These doctors, I hate that they do it, and we need them too. There are things that we just really do need them for. But then we already know that being sick is a $1 billion business too, if they can keep you hooked on something. Because see, people are getting smarter and getting and going back to what they did in the olden days, and starting to eat healthier and do things a little differently. So if they can keep you hooked on something, they will, to keep their to keep you coming to him. So yes. Anyways, because I when I go for my pap smear, I don't know how they know. My doctor was sitting up telling me, um, he was like, I don't really see, because I told him, I said, well, you know, my cycle is not as heavy as it used to be, because as you get older, your body start getting ready to go into the change. And he was like, wow. He was like, you still ovulating at the rate of a 29-year-old woman. I said, the devil is a lie. The devil is a liar. You have to be careful too, because I've seen a lot of women like in their 50s and stuff, when they're going starting to go through that change, that's when they get pregnant. They'll mess around and get pregnant. They'll mess around and get pregnant, sitting up like 50 years old and stuff, 55 pregnant, okay? About to have a nervous breakdown. He's a come on. I don't think that doctor knew what he was talking about. I don't think that he knew what he was talking about, because I told him, I said, my cycle is slowing down. I think I'm in that premenopause. So he was like, no, you're not. It's not showing that you're in there in premenopausal. And I don't know how he would know. He said, you're ovulating at the rate of a 29-year-old woman. I know damn well I ain't dropping nothing like that, because I know my body is going into that premenopausal thing, because I know how it used to be, as far as like my cycle and stuff. It's not like that. Hell, I will skip a month, and I've never skipped months. When your body start getting ready for that change, you'll skip a month. You'll skip a couple months. So I don't know what he's talking about. I said, no, the devil is a lie, because it's funny too, because you have to be careful, because like the last couple guys that I talked to, I don't know why, but they'll get to, I don't know why, what it is when these men get older, they start talking about, is your tubes tied? Oh, okay, so you can still have babies. That's good. Dude, I just told you how old I was. Why are you wanting to try to? I'm not having no babies. They old too. I would have been like, was it Elizabeth that got pregnant? Who was that got pregnant at their old age, at what, like 75? She said, God has made me laugh. Who was that? Was it Elizabeth in the Bible? I got to see who that was. Sarah. Sarah got pregnant. She had been trying to have a baby. And Sarah believes her story will bring joy, unless she said, God has made me laugh. When she got pregnant, the Bible says that Abraham was 100 years old. And Sarah, they had been trying to have a baby, but you remember he kept having babies by her concubines, and she thought she was barren. And then at her old age, she got pregnant. God kept his word, okay? And she says, given me laughter. God has made me laugh. And that's a word right there for women who think that they're too old to get pregnant. You're never too old. It's just all about the timing, okay? It's all about timing, because God will make you laugh, okay? As far as me, if I was to get pregnant at my age, I would laugh until I actually cried, because I would be boohooing and crying. I'd be laughing from being deliriously delirious with grief. And then until I start crying. I'm gonna tell you something, like career women in other communities, like I have a friend who is she's a she's a she's Persian, so she comes from over there around Iraq and all of those places. And she says, so Hayla says, my friends um um get pregnant, they wait and they start getting pregnant at 45. I mean, I never at 45, which is cool. Which is cool if you want to get pregnant at 45, okay? But I didn't know that women were deliberately waiting at that age now, waiting to be 45 to get pregnant. Cuz I get to thinking about now with my grandbaby. I just let my grandbaby have her way. Okay, I just let her have her way. I give her all the juices and everything to keep her from screaming. When I was younger, I would not have done that. Once you get Gigi, I said, here go the whole box right here. Here's the whole box. Alabama Hill says my mom was 30 when I was born. My dad was 40. So we call them old babies with old sense. I tell you, they do be smart. A lot of them. Hmm. Yep. Black Barbara said, if that would have happened to me, I would jump out of the window. But hey, who is that? Ebony, do you have any children? Child, I would hate to believe, but I'm telling you now, these men, even if they're older, like for some reason, if they were out in the street and they feel like dog, like, oh well, God gonna give you some. No, you don't have some babies. Look, when if they were out in the street and they got kids, they start to feel guilty as they get older, and they go, dog, I want some more kid. I want another set of kids so that I can be that father that I should have been. Because they might have took care of their kids with money, but not necessarily with time. And that guilt started to hit them. I'm like, dog, why is it I meet men like that? I done told y'all I'm in my late 40s. Why is they want to try to get me? Look, go on now. I ain't trying to have no more. I want to travel. Like, I'm ready to travel. I want a husband that's gonna be like, baby, let's jump on the train. Let's go. Let's go here. Let's go there. He ready to travel. Let's go to San Francisco and ride the trolley. All of that good stuff. Not somebody that's thinking at my age, they're gonna my age. I've raised kids like my whole I started raising kids at like 19, 20 years old. So I mean, yeah, at 20. Okay. So mm-mm, that's been my whole life. And it's still going on because I mean, you don't just stop being a parent because they're adults. Miss Muffet says, I know I thought I had got away. Got pregnant at 36, had him at 37. I think that happened with Vanessa. with her youngest child. Vanessa called and she was like, "Girl, I'm pregnant." I said, "Vanessa, you didn't, girl, you don't, girl, please, you are old mama." But she was like in her late, she was like 36. I said, "You right there at the line, child." But now women are getting is, I mean, yeah, yeah, things have changed. Folks are still partying at 36. They're I'm telling you what Sahela said. She said career women wait until they are 45. They feel like 45 is a good age to have kids. I'm glad my girls are grown. Now I love children so much. I do. I love them. I think for me, like I spent so much time being overly protective of my kids. I spent so much time being overly protective, like they was always with me. They was always with me. So growing up, they never, as my daughter got older, one of them, her dad was like, "Well, one in North Memphis, child." I talked to him yesterday. He gonna be all right. He helping me with something. And Tamara, I got my other kids. Can she come and spend the summer with me? No. Why not? She mine too. Cause she could come and spend like the weekend, or like I let her spend a week over there one time, and I was calling all day, all night. And she was just as happy over there. Her daddy had her so spoiled. And she got back home to my mama. My daddy fixed me breakfast every morning and brought it to me while I was in bed. I said, "Well, you back to normal now. You back at home. You back to normal now." Oh, I have her over there feeling, I guess, because he's feeling guilty about something. I don't know. Fix a breakfast and give it to her in bed. And she come back home and thought I was going to do it. The Black Barber says, "I was 18 with my daughter and 21 with my son, and the factory closed down. I would have loved to have more kids, but I was not going to have any more unless I was married. I wanted to get married and I wanted to have six children. I wanted to have three boys and three girls. That's why I wanted to have triplet boys, because I wanted to just do it all at one time. I wanted it to be even. And so I don't know why God didn't let me, get married and have my six kids. And I wanted to live on a farm. I wanted to live in a big house with a lot of land, and well, not, just so that I can plant my gardens and all of that. Not necessarily feed no animals. I don't want to milk no cows or nothing. But I ain't gonna be out there killing pigs. So, but I wanted to plant my garden and stuff. I wanted to live in an isolated little place with my kids. Yes, I wanted the Brady Bunch. That's why I said I gotta have a husband that's laid back, that don't be bothered with me, because I be whining and fussing and stuff all the time. I don't need no man that's gonna be fussing back with me. I don't want it. Um, I have three, but I wanted more because I'm only a child. I would love six or seven. Yes, I wanted six. I wanted three boys and three girls. Oh my God, that would have been so awesome. And so then as I started getting older, I was like, Lord, if I marry a man, I would love for him to have some kids, over 6 or 7 years old, because anything under that, they be over there still probably messing with the mama. But I was like, I would love for my husband to have kids that would be inviting of me, that are still young. I could be a part of their life and stuff. But child, now you can't even do that because now when the men come with kids, they looking for a woman to pay their child support. And you know that ain't happening. They looking for these women. Give me a woman, she pay my child support. Woo, don't get me started. Cause y'all know how I be getting. I have three, but I wanted, yeah, I wanted six. I do. Maybe my oh my god. Listen, my dad, I always I used to always ask my dad, because you know all his other girls are married, but you know, and my mother is very my mama is very passive. She is, okay. And I'm talking about his other girls with, you know, with his wife. And so, you know, they married, but you know, they docile too. And I used to ask my dad, Dad, why you think I'm your oldest child? Why you think I'm not married? My dad used to always laugh, but he wouldn't say anything. And one day he said something because he was going, I don't know. I don't know. He used to always say, I don't know. So then one day he said, well, you gonna keep asking me until I say something, because I asked him for years, he wouldn't say nothing. He said, well, gal, you real nitpicky. You real nitpicky. And you vindictive. And I said, Dad, I'm so not vindictive. He said, well, let me just say this. When you've been offended, you nitpick until you get your revenge. And then you be okay. And you can't do that in a marriage. I said, the devil is a lie. How my dad gonna sit up and tell me that I can't get revenge on somebody that did something to me first? So he come from that old school, I guess. I'm the new school. You know, as according to him, I don't know. I don't know what these kids doing now. I ain't the new school because these folks is crazy now. Like my kid, my daughter's eras, my daughter's eras. Oh my God, I my babies don't have a whole lot to look forward to. So I be praying God, make sure that good wives, please send them some good husbands. My youngest daughter, well, I ain't gonna say that because I don't want. Okay, but so this is exactly where I hear. I'm telling you. I don't know. I mean, my dad and them come from an era, I guess, where women didn't. Because I like to get understandings. I'm unhappy, but see, because when I love somebody, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm real loyal. Okay. And I'm a rider. Like when I love somebody, I be loving them hard, but I ain't stupid though. You ain't gonna come in and think you're gonna get my feelings. I'm gonna be emotionally tied up in you and I'm be giving you my money and stuff. I don't even want you. That's no, it ain't gonna happen. I don't want no man like that. Okay, that's looking for a woman to financially pull him out of a hole. Ooh, 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 Lord, please. Cause see, I'm getting better. Cause I'm, you know, cause I was getting ready to say some real bad things. I was really to go back to South Memphis, but I'm not gonna do it. I've never dated any man like that. Okay. Listen, I don't condone guys like being in the, you know, doing things in the street or whatever. I don't condone it. But, you know, you get to thinking about like when a lot of these guys, they come from different areas and homes and stuff like that, and they are a product of their environment. And some of them, like I had like my very first boyfriend, okay, was South Memphis bred, okay, hardcore street dude. I guess it was like Beauty and the Beast, right? But he was such a good person. And so for him to be out in the street like that, his mother had been on drugs. So his mother had lived in, he was from out of North, his mother, they was living in North Memphis. So he ended up coming to South Memphis when he was I guess around 17. His dad and them lived in South Memphis. So anyways, his mother had been on drugs. The boy had been paying, he had been paying rent and everything since he was about 15, 16 years old. So he was out in the streets hustling because his mother had been on drugs and he had two younger brothers. So he had been paying his mama's rent. He was out hustling, paying his mama light bill and stuff like that. So he had been doing that since he was like 15 or 16. He was like, if I had not done it, my mama, we would have been put out. Me and my brothers, my brothers and them wouldn't have had nowhere to go. That's it's sad, being a teenager, he had to be a man. And so as a result, he was always and I think I mean, I didn't like that, but I don't even know if he was still doing it when we was, because we were 10, you know. Anyways, so but he had a really good heart. He was always giving the people in the kids in his neighborhood, not to try and lure them into anything. I just saw that that's just how he was, but it was unfortunate. So, um, but like I said, they were products, a lot of them were products of their environments, unfortunately, and they had to do things. But these dudes now, I don't know what's going on with them. Man, yeah, I'm gonna sell me some ways so I can buy me some shows. Woo! Yeah, I got to go to work because I ain't gonna let the devil get into me so I can start acting up. Because that's what the devil trying to do, make me start this morning. Yeah. Don't take that bus, T. Stay the course. I'm Steven. Steven said, "Don't take that bus." Mm. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Oh. Mm-mm. Oh my god. I like cool, laid back dudes that can handle me. My mama said, I be praying. My mama said, I be praying. She said, because I ruined you. You was my only baby for a long time, and I ruined you. I earned your clothes and stuff and for school until you was like 16. She said, so I be praying, Lord, please send her a husband that's kind and loving, that's not going to flip out on her, that can handle her personality. I like laid back dudes, okay? Cause I'm not gonna I mean I'm cool. I really am. I'm cool, but now you can't come with no mess. Cause if you come with mess, you're not gonna be happy because I'm not gonna let you be. And then we're gonna have to go and break up. Cause I can't deal with that. I don't like for nobody to think they play in my face. I'm being 100 with you. I'm your woman. I'm 100 with you, and you think that you gonna play in my face, Negro? I'm gonna give you a nervous breakdown. Cause me and their nerves and stuff be real bad. He said, you 40 plus and still on the block. Yeah, gone. Jump. I know that's right. It be time to get jobs and invest in businesses and stuff like that. Okay. Yeah, if you 40 plus, if you 30 plus and you still on the block, it's something wrong with you. You need to go ahead and get you a job. That's the flex now, having a job. Having a job, yeah, men nerves are way worse than women. Okay, and not unless they real zesty, because most men like peace. unless they're real zesty and they be want to argue, sit up and argue and all of that head and stuff bobbing and stuff like that. I ain't got time for no mess like that. He's sassier than me. Okay, he want to argue and I ain't got. That's the sign right there, ladies. We already. I mean, all of us ladies know that is a sign. That's a sign. Because most men don't even want to argue with no women because they feel like women are crazy. Man, she a little kooky. I ain't arguing with no damn woman. So they got better things to do, like get some money. Anyways, y'all, I gotta go. It don't take me but 5 minutes to get to work. But listen, I love you all. I'm gonna get on tonight to let y'all know if I did something. Listen, I was intending to pull a petition today. I had gotten me a team together. Let me say this. I had gotten me a team today. I had got me a team. We have been talking about it. I got me a group of people that said that they was going to support me, okay, on running for a position. And my aunties and stuff have been there for me. They've been helping me and all of that. And I even got some people. I'm trying to stay away from big businesses. I don't want big businesses to fund me because I don't want to owe anybody. When big businesses fund elected officials, they fund them because they have an interest. And then a lot of politicians, especially around Memphis, they're already bought and paid for before they get into office. Ain't nobody gonna own me. Okay. So what my team and I said we was gonna get out, we had a plan to do some stuff. So just pray for me because I'm here in that position. It's a lot of people that's planning to get into the race to try to split up the votes. And see, that's what these damn cuckabug heads do. That's the reason why Memphis is in the position that it is in now, that people get paid to get into the race. So a bought out Negro can win. Okay. But y'all pray for me. Lord forgive me, God. Y'all know how I get. Y'all pray for me. I'm trying to decide on if I want to do it. I got a team behind me that's like we with you. We with you. It would take a lot of time. I'm in school. I mean, getting my law degree is priority, but running this race would be for it would be for 8 months, 7.5 months. I'll let y'all know what I decided to do because I've been getting texts and stuff this morning like, please don't change your mind. Please don't change your mind. We've been preparing for this. I don't know, y'all. Anyways, you guys, I love you all. Y'all have a good day.